We're now in a place where those body types themselves are not incorrect, okay? Nobody's body is incorrect. Having an hourglass body type is not the ideal, I promise you. There are a lot of women who actually are hourglass body types and they don't even know that they are because they thought that hourglass just meant you must be skinny. The body types don't have anything to do with weight. They don't have anything to do with height.
Before we dive into our conversation with our guest, I want to take a quick moment to invite all of you, our incredible listeners, to connect with us. Please take a moment to like this episode, subscribe to Wednesday Wellness Debrief, wherever you listen to your podcast. Now, onto the interview. Welcome back to Wednesday Wellness Debrief, the space where we delve into all things women's wellness and maternal health. I'm your host, Brittany, and today we're exploring a topic that might surprise some of you, but one that I believe is deeply intertwined with well-being, personal style. That's why I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today, my incredible image consultant and true champion of helping women feel their best, Kyla. She is the founder of a brilliant business with an even more brilliant name. It's Kyla, not Kayla. And I'll give a round of applause for Kyla.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy to be here to talk about style. As you can tell, if you go through my transitions through this podcast, you can see my style has drastically changed, and I contribute that to Kyla, who's sitting with me today.
Thank you so much. Yes, we see the glow up.
Exactly. So we're going to get started. I know the listeners are eager to hear the insights. So starting with our first question of Kyla, for those who might not be familiar with your work, like me, could you tell us a little bit about your journey as an image consultant and what initially drew you to help women with their personal style?
Yes, absolutely. So before I was styling, I was working in tech. Actually, I was working at a tech startup. It was great, loved it. Yes, I can code. But one thing that I noticed while I was doing that work was that there were a lot of really brilliant women who oftentimes were not in leadership, but they were the ones who were making things happen. They were the ones getting things done. And a lot of the times they were these silent partners to men who were accomplishing things and becoming the face of a project or the face of a team. And I recognized that even though they were brilliant and they knew their stuff, the fact that they didn't feel like they knew how to own their presence is what got in the way of them actually really having the career they desired. And a lot of it came down to I don't feel good about how I'm looking, how I'm dressing every day. And a lot of the time we see getting dressed as just like this chore, this thing that we have to get done. But when you really get clear about what your style is, how you want to show up in the world, it gets rid of a lot of the mental chatter that blocks you from the success you're actually looking for.
Mm. Yeah, I can contribute. Before I was talking to you during our session that I was just like, I'm feeling a little bit down, especially coming from like the corporate side. Just, I feel a little bit down and I don't feel confident, even though I've done all of these things in my career that I should be proud of. It's kind of like I'm not comfortable with how I was looking at that point in time.
Right, right. And like just to feel that way, I mean, for anybody, man or woman, it's problematic, but especially as women, the way that we move through the world it's so crucial that we feel good about it. It's so crucial that we feel like we own the narrative with it. Because at the end of the day, in order for your voice to be heard or for you to be seen, you have to see and hear yourself first.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love that. Based on the answer from your first question, that actually transitions us to a controversial question.
Cool.
So, some might argue that focusing on style is superficial, especially when there's so many other pressing issues for women like mental health or physical recovery after birth or
Mhm.
anything else. How do you respond to that criticism that people feel that style is superficial?
I think that what people don't understand when they're getting dressed is it is one of the only daily habits that we have that everybody has, no matter who it is, where you get to step into your identity for the day. Every time you get dressed, it is a daily practice in identity work. It's not just about putting on clothes for function, nor is it about just putting on clothes so you can like feel cute. It's about really deciding like, okay, this is who I'm being. This is who I am. It's a daily reminder of that. You're choosing how you want to perceive yourself, not just be perceived by other people. And I think that we all are familiar with the difference between the days we're wearing like sweatpants and like lounging around the house, or like running outside and hoping we're not seen by too many people, versus the feeling we have when we're wearing a really great outfit and we actually want someone to see us today because we look good, you know? Um, and that feeling, while, it can be kind of comical, it actually really does do something to our psyche when we feel good about how we look.
Mm. No, I think kind of like a uniform, kind of like a uniform for where you're going. Like when I do my interviews, I
Yeah.
very much feel like the sage when I do
Yeah.
my interviews. When I'm at home, I feel like the mother. So just like the
Yes.
different styles, and when you book with Kyla, you will understand the breakdowns for that. But play a different role.
Yes, you're playing a different role. And I'm glad you touched on the style archetypes there, because I do use style archetypes. They are based off of the feminine archetypes, the traditional feminine archetypes. And I think that for women, especially for very smart women, if you're watching this podcast, you're a very smart woman. We're oftentimes told like, oh, smart girls don't have to care about that, or if you're too intelligent, you're too this, you're too that, to be shallow enough to care about your style. And that is the biggest lie that we're told as women. As women, especially as smart women, we know that our style is important and we are strategic with our style, not just for the fact that our style is our power and helps us attract opportunities, people, things into our world, but also because our style is an internal power as well. So I use those archetypes to speak to the internal power you want to tap into when you're getting dressed.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I love feeling powerful. Like I feel very powerful in my little shirt right here.
Yes.
That
I was like, yes, she's
she helped me before my friend's trip. And I'll just and she's like, you look very French. I'm like, that's the vibe I was giving, especially with the motivation she gave me. But moving on to a more thought-provoking question. In a world saturated with social media and like the idealized images, how do you
Mhm.
help clients develop an authentic style that truly reflects them rather than chasing trends or trying to emulate someone like a Kim Kardashian or maybe an IG baddie that they really like watching or following?
Yeah. And I love this question because I think that there's nothing wrong with fashion style inspiration. I get it all the time. Pinterest, Instagram, whatever, YouTube, whatever. There's TikTok. There's all sorts of images that we're being fed on like clothes, what to wear, what to buy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being influenced, but we have to understand that each one of us are different. All of our bodies are very unique. So the basic understanding of body types is what's going to help you when you're looking at inspiration. You don't need to keep up with all the trends. You don't need to look like other people look. But if you are being inspired by someone, you want to learn how to translate that look for your own body. So if
Mm,
I'm looking at Kim Kardashian is a classic pear body shape. And if I'm looking at her looks and then I try to put it on my body type, which is not a pear, I am an hourglass, and I'm also more or less curvy than she is. So I'm going to take that same look and wear it on myself. Like if I wear that bodycon dress she's famous for wearing, it's not going to look the same. It's not going to look the same. And it's not to say that, oh, I can't wear that. It doesn't look good on me. My body is because my body is incorrect. It's because those clothes are incorrect for my body. So instead of wearing maybe a bodycon dress the way she would, maybe I'd wear a dress with a little peplum detail. Or instead of wearing somebody's wearing a straight fit jean, maybe instead I'm gonna take that same look but do a wide leg jean. And for folks to know that and memorize that, I recognize it's a lot. So that's why you work with style coaches. That's what we do. But I actually just created a new offer for folks. It is called the Flatter Your Body Bot. So if you are a Chat GPT user, you would have access to it. It is a GPT, and it literally has my entire brain in it. I just like dumped out, like, here's all of my work around body type. Dropped it into it, and you can literally ask it, like, hey, what can I wear these pants? Drop a picture, drop a link, and say, hey, would this work for my body? And it's going to be like having me in your pocket, letting you know if it works or not. So I think that that is really important. But aside from just receiving inspiration from other people, when it comes to trends, anytime you find yourself on this hamster wheel of trying to like keep up, what's in, what's out, what should I be doing, you're doing it wrong. I, I hate to tell you, you're doing it wrong. You should really, you should really much more focus much more on the who you're trying to be. What is
Mm.
your essence? Like, going back to those style archetypes, what is your essence? What is your power? What are your strengths that you want to play up on? What are the weaknesses you're trying to balance out as it pertains to your own personality and who you're being? And dress for that. Like, I love that your earrings are cheeky. I love that you're wearing color because it's such a reflection of you and your personality type. And I think that every woman wants to feel like her clothes are her, not her clothes are
Mm.
her friend. Like, if you ask a woman, like, what's the most important thing about being stylish? She's like, well, I just want to feel good in my clothes, not I want to feel on trend. Like, trends aren't correct. Some trends are too correct. There's lots of things that are
No, you are not wrong. Sometimes trends, I go back and look at some of the photos, like in college days and high school, it's like, wow.
wow.
Just like all you can say is like, wow, that's
Sweetheart.
speaking of body types and you putting your
Mhm.
brain into to AI.
Yeah.
Our last controversial question. The term dressing for your body type can sometimes feel restrictive for
Yeah.
some people. They feel that way, or even judgmental. How do you
Mhm.
navigate this concept in a way that empowers the client rather than makes them feel limited, where you can only wear this because you're an apple? You can only do this because you're shaped like a pear.
Yes. And I love this question because I feel like as women, just generally speaking, we're constantly being told how incorrect we are. Like, nothing could ever be right. Nothing's ever right enough. Or I think that the conversations around body types, especially, I use the five classic body types. I mean, we've heard of like the apple and the pear and the hourglass and the straight body type, and then a lot of times it's been called the inverted triangle. We had this conversation. I think that's so dumb. Who did that? Who did that? Straight to jail. I actually changed the name to strawberry, and a lot of the times people might hear it called carrot, but I think unfortunately carrot makes you assume that someone is tall and lean, and that's not
Yeah.
the case. Whereas strawberry, I like better. Strawberries come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but I think that those original five body types were created at a time where, like, if you go back to like the 30s, 40s, 50s, women were objects, quite literally. Like, that's like all you had was like, I hope you look good, because you can't get a bank account. And you can't get a you don't even own your own property.
Basically.
So, like, I think that a lot of the language around body types, a lot of the language around clothes and beauty in general were very, very scarcity based, very, very, you know, disempowering. We're now in a place where those body types themselves are not incorrect. Okay. Nobody's body is incorrect. Having an hourglass body type is not the ideal. I promise you. There are a lot of women who actually are hourglass body types, and they don't even know that they are, because they thought that hourglass just meant you must be skinny. The body types
Mm.
don't have anything to do with weight. They don't have anything to do with height. They are simply the horizontal lines on your body from your bust, your waist, and your hip. One of them is going to be the widest, one of them is going to be the narrowest, and wherever that falls at that point in time, just tells you what your body type is. Your body type can change over time. And I think that the most important thing a woman can do for herself to be body positive is know what her body type is so that she is shopping in an educated way instead of shopping from a way where you feel like these are the clothes I should be able to wear. And if those clothes don't fit me, I'm incorrect. What you should instead understand is those clothes are not correct for me. It's nothing wrong with me. And then on top of that, understanding that these body types can change. So I'm sure the women who are listening to this, all the moms out there, you know good and well your body type can change over time. The most important thing you can do for yourself is give yourself permission to change. And that
Mm.
goes for more than just body types, but always give yourself permission to change. Give your body the permission to change. And then in that change, that's also why I was really excited about doing the Flatter Your Body bot because it can change with you. It can let you know how your body has changed over time and interact with you in that way and grow with you because your body is not supposed to stay the same. Yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
Oh,
And I feel like I could get on a soapbox.
I will pay a quarter to your soapbox. I will, whatever hat, I will just throw it in there for you because you're not wrong. And you and I had this conversation during my session where I am a wonderful shape, like a wonderful strawberry, a delicious, wonderful strawberry. And you and I talked about how I'm going through the transition of trying to become pregnant. And we had the conversation of your body may change. Here are kind of the different body type possibilities that may happen, but we still want you to be comfortable with the
Yeah.
clothes that you pick as your body moves and
Yeah,
changes.
exactly. I mean, every woman who gets pregnant is going to experience being an apple body type at some point, and that's just where your widest point is now your waistline. And I think that what what women also have to recognize too is the changes with your comfort level is also just as important as the changes with your body, right? So, softer fabrics, giving yourself room. Dresses are your friend. Even dresses in the wintertime are your friend. Knowing how to layer is your friend. So, yeah, you have to be really gracious with your body as it's changing in order to feel good about what you're wearing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something I even when I went to France and I was looking at stuff, I was just like being mindful of how I was looking, the fabrics, the colors. Like we even picked like a wonderful color palette for me, which I'm wearing right now.
Yes,
And
you are.
throughout the video and throughout the videos you'll see like, oh, her style is changing. She's wearing like different colors. It's because Kyla helped me pick those wonderful colors because they go wonderful with my skin tone. So
Yeah. I love to see it. We love to see it thrive.
I've worked with you personally as I've gushed about you, and I can attest to the positive impact. What is one of your favorite success stories or transformation you've witnessed with a client?
Ooh, this is always so hard. It's always so hard because I want to be like all of them. But if I had to say like one that just impacted me so deeply, I was working with a client and she was literally like everything. I'm trying to find a way to say this. It's like we all know those experiences where it feels like your entire life just blew up.
Yes.
And she was going through divorce, job change. She had recently had a major, major, major weight loss. And it was just literally like everything that could have possibly been changing was changing. And when I was working with her, what it was just such a precious moment. They always are, but it was just such a precious moment to see her experience designing her life on purpose for the first time.
Mm.
Because even though everything had blown up, she had this mindset that was like, I'm experiencing my reset. I'm experiencing my rebirth. And this time around, I'm not breaking promises to myself. This time around, I'm going to feel good on purpose. And I'm not inviting anything in that's not that. So it was like I was I was a part of her rebirth. And honestly, it felt like the work that I do. I've worked with doulas in the past, both birth and death doulas, which is really interesting. But it kind of feels like I'm like a life chapter doula as a stylist sometimes when I'm
I
working
would
with
say that.
people. It's just like, okay, we are really designing like who is this woman? How is she showing up? How does she want to be seen? What makes her powerful? Okay, what are her weaknesses? We all have weaknesses. How are we going to play to that? Like what are we going to do so that you feel like day in, day out, as you're getting dressed, as you're doing that daily practice of identity work, you feel good. And by the end of it, there were tears, there was laughter, and she just really felt like, I'm the woman that I was meant to be. I am showing up as her every day. I know how to do that without losing my um without losing my time. I can do it with ease. It doesn't have to be this hard thing to get dressed every day. And she loved it so much she ended up gifting a session to her daughter. So I felt really good, and it was really special to work with a mother and a daughter. So yeah, she was everyone's my favorite, but she's definitely one of my
Now she's like, you're gonna make generational impact in my family. Talk to my daughter as well.
Yes, it was so special. It was so special. Yeah. I loved that session.
Oh my gosh. I love that. And I would say that as well with you with transitioning. And if everyone else knows on the podcast, I'm transitioning out of corporate life. And so
Yeah,
just transitioning into the archetype from like a sage to more of a mother types
yeah,
archetype. And so just like I need help transitioning because I don't know what I'm doing. So I would say that you do come in at a time where I guess we've been kind of taught a particular way and you come like, no, it's okay to take up space. It's
yeah,
okay to say, I don't want this. This
yeah,
is what I want moving forward in my life. And I will state that it's easier and it's a lot more fun going into my closet and picking out clothes now after our session. I
yes.
can attest to that.
Good, as it should be, as it should be. And I love that you said that, like with your transition, like you're experiencing even the changes in archetypes because we have all of them in us. And I feel like in your own transition, like even though like now you're really trying to in this literal sense step into the mother archetype, in many ways you've experienced birthing something like this podcast, birthing that, the work that you do related to wellness and health, birthing that, and like helping women also bring their new selves into the world. I think that rewinding to what I said earlier around giving yourself permission to change. When you give your body permission to change, when you give yourself permission to change your work, your relationships, your whatever, you're really birthing a new version for yourself, and it can feel really uncomfortable, but when you give yourself the permission, like amazing things come from that. Amazing things come
Oh,
from
um, I've scheduled that I will schedule that cry from when we're
that.
done with this, for when we're done with this episode.
Ready.
This is our last question. Okay.
Mhm.
For mothers, time and resources are often stretched thin. What's
Mhm.
one piece of advice you have for a mom who feels that she's lost herself in motherhood and doesn't even know where to begin to reclaim her style?
Start with the basics. Allow yourself to hit the reset button and start with the basics. I think that you should purge. Keep the things that are in your closet that are meaningful, like memories for you. Like if there's like a specific piece you wore for like an award you won or a big moment in life, keep that. But purge and refresh. Start new. What is going in this closet? And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go on this huge shopping spree. What I usually suggest to women, I have this closet essentials checklist that I highly suggest women download. It gives you like, regardless of what your archetype is, regardless of if you see yourself as this preppy person or a boho person, everyone needs a good pair of jeans. Everyone needs a good white t-shirt. So go through your closet, make sure you have those and they fit you and they feel good and they look good and they don't have a stain on them. Go through those the checklist, make sure you have those items and let that be your reset, because once you have those items, then from there you're just pulling in personality pieces that align with you. And like mind you, like you said, like your moms, you don't have a bunch of time, so I that checklist is shoppable. It does have like links to like find those items, but also with that reset and redefining your style, you'd actually be shocked how it actually saves you time. By taking the little time to do that, you're now saving oodles and doodles of time every morning. You're saving yourself the frustration of being in a space and you feel like you need to adjust your clothes because they don't fit right, or you are starting every morning feeling like I have nothing. It's decision fatigue every day. So give yourself that permission to just reset that closet, start over.
And I know, and I still have that checklist saved on my phone. And literally, I went to Zara after I was done teaching on on Thursday. I was at Zara, not a plug. Zara. I was like, oh, here's a plain white shirt, and like we talked about like the scoop necks and all the other stuff. And I wore it this weekend because we went away for a family event, and I felt confident. I felt even if it was like a casual, I felt very confident in my clothing. I got complimented a lot, and I was just like, this is a regular shirt and just the jeans and cute little flip flops. But I I will, I guess, communicated that I felt more confident in my body and confident in the
Yes.
clothes I was wearing,
Yes.
basically.
I always say to folks, like, that woman that you see that looks like super stylish, it's not because her life is just so perfect and she has everything together. It's because she simply has a system with her style. She simply knows, like, okay, everything in my closet looks good on me, works for me, so I could pull anything out of there and look good and feel good. Your closet is literally your resource pile for looking good. If you have things in there that you don't feel good in and don't look good in, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wearing outfits that you don't feel good in and don't look good in. So the reason she looks like that and she looks put together and it looks so effortless is because she made it easy. she, she made it easy.
And and unfortunately, that brings us to the end of another episode of Wednesday Wellness Debrief. I really truly want to thank Kyla for sharing her wisdom, inspiring us to look at our wardrobes and ourselves with fresh eyes. Now, if someone wanted to, Kyla, if someone wanted to book a session, have tips, where can the people find you social media wise, website wise? I'm going to put it in the description below.
Yes, well, I would love to be Instagram friends with you all. You can follow me on Instagram at it's Kyla, not Kayla, and that's ITSKYLA, and you can also find me at my website. It's kylanotKayla.com. You'll find the archetypes quiz there if you want to discover what your archetype is. You can also hop on my email list and get a love letter from me every week. And yes, I would love to see you. So if you join into my community in any way, tell me Brittany sent you.
Yes, tell them I sent you, and I will gladly claim that as well. If this conversation resonated with you, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this episode with women in your life who need to hear it. Your support helps us reach more incredible women and continue these important conversations. The simple act of choosing an outfit that makes you feel good can feel incredible and powerful. And remember, you are worthy of feeling amazing inside and out. See you next week.